Hello friends and welcome back. So in this session we are going to cover the deployment. Okay, so before we go for the execution, okay, I will explain you few things about the deployment, okay, like what kind of a files that we get from the developers for the deployment, okay, and along with that when we do the deployment, okay, and then how to do the deployment in case of a standalone and the server group, which is the if we have a domain mode, right? So many things we have covered in the previous sessions as well, where we have discussed in detail about the server groups and servers, and then we have seen the executions, okay. So in case you have missed that particular session or section, okay, so I will explain you again what are the important things we have to consider when we are going for the deployment, right? So what is deployment is simple to make the applications accessible for the outer world or to the end users. Your developers developing the application after they give handover to you for the deployment in the production environment, right? Or maybe if you are in a support. Okay, so there could be some multiple non-production environment as well, pre-prod development and then non-quality testing. So basically, developer will do the development of code in their development environment and then they will forward it to the testing team. Or maybe you have a quality team, then you have a pre-prod team, and then it will come to the deployment to the productions, right? So basically, we have three type of files that you will get: .war file, .jar file, and .ear file. These are the three mostly files that you will see get for the deployment. Okay, for example, if I have payment application, then I may have a file with the name of payment.var, or there could be payment.jar, or it could be payment.ear. Okay, now what is the difference between var, jar, and er is very straightforward and simple. Var is the web applications. And what are the web applications? We have covered in detail in the very beginning session, right? Where we have discussed about the difference between web server and application server, what are the different kind of applications. And there we have learned we have two kind of applications, right? One is called the web applications and second is called the server side applications. So web application which you access with the help of browser from your system and using the HTTP or HTTPS, right? So this is called a web application because it is served to you over the web. Web is internet, over the internet, okay, which you can access from the browser. So whenever you access any of the website, there is a page that has been displayed in front of you, and then you click on the multiple options for doing a different kind of actions, right? And second is the server side. Server side means which is getting executed at the server side. So at server side, we execute the business logic, right? And we have discussed in detail about everything in the very first session, right? For example, if you are doing the online money transfer, so when you do the online money transfer, you initiate from the browser. That means you are initiating from the web application, but it is executing on your server because money transfer has to do a lot of business processing in the backend. Right? For that, we write the code maybe in the advanced Java language, for example, in EJBs, Enterprise Java Beans. So once the request initiated from the web server or web application, it will reach to the server, and then server will execute your business logic. Correct. So that means we have two kind of applications, web applications and server side application, which I said may be written in the advanced Java, for example, EJBs, Enterprise Java Beans, right? So this var application is simply a web application, right? So here in this case, as I said, you may have a banking application. So in banking application, you have a web interface, right, which you access from the browser, and then you have a business logic which is getting executed at the server end. Correct. So that means you have both component. So here var application is only about this web application, not the server side application. Okay, that means you have a var application, web application, okay, which is developed in maybe the servlets, JSP, HTML, CSS, right? So if you have this application which only need the servlets, JSP, HTML, CSS processing, that means the web application. So you will get a var file. Okay, jar file is about the common files. So I will come it later part. Let us come to EAR file. EAR is called the enterprise archive file. Now enterprise means these both, what I was explaining, web application plus your server side business logic. Okay, that means you have a web application and along with that you have a business logic like the banking application. So if you have a web application, along with that you have a business logic server side application which is developed in advanced Java like EJP, which need to be executed. So what you will do, you will pack your web application along with the business logic server applications which is developed in EJBs, okay, in the EAR file. So the .var file is simple a web application. EAR file is a combination of web applications plus your business logic. Okay, so that's why when we extract the EAR file, you want to see the code, you can extract this EAR file, and this inside this EAR file, you will see the another var file, because this is a combination of your web application plus server side application. Okay, and this is your only your web application. What is jar file? Jar file are the common file. Mostly you will see that most of jar files we add in the class path of the servers. Okay, because there are suppose that we have deployed the multiple applications in our Jboss. Okay, but there are certain code that is common across all the applications. So instead of packaging that code in each and every jar file, var file, ER file, we can have a separate file, jar file, okay, which we can as a module or library. Library in the sense a file or common code that is getting accessed by each and every application, and that is deployed as a jar file, which is a common code or a library, which is referred by the multiple applications. Right. So this is the difference between these three kind of a files that we mostly get when we go for the deployments. Okay. Now you want to extract the jar var ER file. You want to check the content of any of the file. Okay, which is given to you. Okay, so you can do that as well. And a very simple command for that, we use a jar command. Okay, Java hyphen jar. Let me show you that as well. So it's not a Java hyphen jar. It's a jar utility that is part of your standard JDK Java. Okay. So to extract any of the file, for example, you have a .var file, and let me give the name payment.var. You want to extract this file or a code in your local system. Okay, to analyze the code. So you can simply give jar hyphen xvf and the name of the file payment.var. Similarly, if it's an EAR file, you can give the name of the file, or maybe it's a jar file, you can give the name of file, and you can use jar hyphen xvf. So this is to extract the file. Similarly, when developers create the files, okay, developers when create or package this file, var file, ER file, and this jar file, when the code is completed, okay, they simply use jar hyphen cvf and the name of the file. So this will create the archive file of your code. Okay, but before that, they have a standard folder structure for creating this var ER file, ER files. Okay, there is a standard structure folder how to create that one, and then they zip this in the form of var ER or jar that you get for the deployment. Right now, let us talk about the deployment. So, if you are going for the deployment of any of the file in the Jboss, if you have a standalone mode, you can directly go and deploy to a single server. That means when you deploy, you can target it to a single server because you have only one server. One server is running, right, which is a standalone server. Correct. When you are in a domain mode where you have a centralized domain controller, and there could be multiple other host controllers, which is part in a cluster in your domain mode. This is your domain controller. This is your host controller. One, two, 3, 4. So now if you are going to deploy your application here in the domain controller, so you may want to deploy the application to all of the host controller, or it could be possible only some specific host controllers, not all. It depends on your server group, right? Because the servers in your domain mode part of a server group. This we have covered in very detail in the previous multiple sessions, specifically in the previous session where we have discussed about the server groups and the servers, right? That means you can have a multiple server groups in a particular domain mode, where we have seen, suppose that we have a group payment underscore group, and here we have four servers, S1, S2, S3, and S4. One is running on each node, like this one, okay? And maybe you have some other server group, manufacturing group, where you have only two servers, server 1 and server 2, which is running on only server 1 and server 2. So we have here two server groups, right? So when you deploy the application in the domain mode, okay, you have to make sure on which server group you want to deploy the application. If you are deploying the payment application, you need to deploy it to payment group. If you are deploying the manufacturing application, you need to deploy to manufacturing group. So what will happen? For example, if you deploy the application to payment group, it will be deployed only to the payment group servers, which is part of this server group. When you deploy the application to manufacturing group, it will only deploy to the manufacturing server group application servers. Okay, so by this you have a segregation of the different applications in the different servers, or maybe you have a common group where you deploy all the applications. You do not have a multiple groups, you have only one common server group where we deploy all the applications. So in the domain mode, before the deployment, you have to make sure in which server group you have to deploy the application. So as soon as you will deploy the application to server group, it will automatically be available for each and every server which is part of that particular server group. So these two things you have to take care. Standalone mode, you have only one server, straightforward deployment. Domain mode, you have to make sure to which server group you need to deploy the application, and you deploy the application to server group, and as soon as you target your application to server group, it automatically deploy to each and every Jboss server which is part of that particular server group, right? So now hope you have some good clarity on the different kind of application that we deploy, and when we do the deployment, then what all things that we have to take care.